Hello everyone and welcome to Video Game Choo Choo's wildest podcast of the season. This is guaranteed to be the most insane, the most fucked up, the most rude episode of the show, or your money back. I'm John. I'm in charge of this episode, and with me is Niall.
Hi, should I swear or something? Are we doing that? Is that what this is?
I mean, what do you consider to be wild and rude?
Fuck you, John.
Oh, we're starting out strong.
Yeah.
All right. Elvie, you're
Hello.
here.
Hi.
What fucked up rude thing are you going to do?
Well...
We can come back to you.
Okay.
All right. Rose.
To be topical, I'll say I'm the lowest of the low.
Oh, damn. That's a fucking reference to the show. Wow.
Yeah, it's fucked up.
It is. You know, they don't say fucked up anymore in the show. So There you go. There's some comedy for you. Elvie, we're coming back to you now. You know, maybe the most fucked up thing to do is not participate.
There you go.
Wow.
Yeah, oh shit. Elvie, you there?
Yes.
Okay. Damn, she fucking got me.
Fucked up.
All right,
Yeah.
damn. Whoa. I just got completely bodied on the podcast. All right, there you go. Yeah, this is... We will not be giving any refunds today, folks. Anyway. It's been a week since E3. Or at the very least, it's been a week since our post E3 podcast, and it just feels wild. I'm not used to the normal version of the world outside of E3.
What, back to the old times where there's literally no news at all and no video games?
Yeah, we sat down and we were like, what news is there? And there's nothing. And luckily, games came out. So there's stuff to talk about, but no news. So we're just gonna hang out and talk about what we've been playing. I guess we can start out with Niall.
Hi.
Because Niall, you've been playing a lot of stuff.
Yeah, I have. A lot of stuff is coming out.
How about we start off with maybe one of the. I was gonna say one of them is the biggest release, but honestly, they're both really cool games. So, how about we start with Judgment?
Sure, yeah. So, Judgment is the new game from the people who make Yakuza. And it's, I guess, the first one of these games, because it's sort of like a spin-off, basically, of Yakuza. You know, it's set in Kamurocho, and you're running around the same sort of area, but it's a new cast of characters. You play as a guy called Yagami, who is he's a detective who is a former lawyer who quit being a lawyer after someone he got off, went and murdered his girlfriend, immediately afterwards and turned out to be a serial killer, and so now he's working as, a private eye, basically. And yeah, it's both immediately really familiar as a Yakuza game and also, very, very different in terms of its structure and in terms of its tone. It de-emphasizes a lot of the things you sort of expect, out of a Yakuza game, when you're playing Yakuza and you're just, moving around in the world, you're constantly getting into fights, you're constantly, experiencing these little side stories, and having played the game now for about 6 hours, you're not really experiencing any side stories at all. You're still fighting here and there, but, where in a Yakuza game, if you had to run from one side of the map to the other, you would get in 4 or 5 fights. Here you might not get in more than one. You might not even get in one. So it very much feels like it is trying to make this sort of crime, or not crime drama, because Yakuza is a crime drama, but sort of a courtroom drama, like a more of a noir-driven story than Yakuza had, but like used the trappings of Yakuza. And like so far, I'm not 100% sold on it because, like I said, like one of the things I really like about Yakuza is just the side stuff. And in this game, it does exist, but to get to it, you have to like make friends with people in the town, and then your like reputation as being a helpful person will go up. And then you'll get like these side cases. Like I just got my first one literally like 6 hours into the game. But like all the friendship stuff so far is really like weak. It's like you go to a restaurant and you order something, and then somebody goes, "Oh, excuse me, sir, would you like to like take a selfie with me for our selfie contest or whatever?" And like that's literally like one of them, and like which could be fun if it was more of a like story, but it's not. It's literally like you take the selfie and then your meter goes up, and then you come back a few days later and then you can take another selfie and your meter goes up again. So like it feels like it's missing a lot of that just that like silly side stuff. Like you don't run into it in the same way that you run into it in Yakuza. You have to really seek it out, and it takes a long time for it to start coming out, you know, which is kind of a bummer, because I think as a character, Yagami is really good. I think his like assistant Kaito is really good. He's like an ex-Yakuza dude. He's really good. I really enjoy the like interplay between the two of them. I appreciate that the story is kind of like a very different tone to Yakuza. It's a lot less melodramatic, but it's still like it still has that same sort of feel that you expect from the studio, like that same kind of vibe to it. It just feels a little lighter and a little more like aware of itself. Yeah, I just wish the like stuff around it was more fleshed out early on. Like I wish you could do more of that stuff early on instead of what it seems to want you to do, which is like go straight through that first chapter, mostly story focused, and then sort of start like branching out and just fucking around and having some fun.
Yeah, so like you're a lawyer, right? So
you're a detective. Like a detective. You used to be a lawyer, but like you're like in that first chapter, you were basically collecting evidence for a trial that your like former employers are handling, basically.
That feels so weird to me that you have to go through this whole friendship thing, because like that whole conceit of like either being like, well, in this case, a detective, even if you were a lawyer, like the idea feels like it writes itself how you get your new cases and stuff, right?
Right.
Like it should be like you're getting tons of side jobs like all the time, or like
right, yeah, like
that's so weird.
Yeah, and I mean the friendship stuff is mostly for the like the side stuff. Like for the main story, it's like a very straightforward like go here, examine this area. Like you get like almost this sort of like Danganronpa-ish like thing where you have to hover around and like zoom into things and like examine everything in the area or whatever when you're doing that stuff. But like your side cases come from your reputation, which comes from your friendships, which yeah, it's very strange. Like it seems to be implying that like you can just barge into like a break room of a restaurant and like talk to the staff and they'll give you like information about cases and stuff. But it seems to be more like once you actually get a case, you could like, maybe you see somebody going into this restaurant and then you go and like go to the smoking area and you talk to one of the waiters like, hey, you seen this guy? You know, like it's less, it seems like in reality it's less fleshed out than it wants you to think it is, if that makes sense.
No, yeah. It seems like that.
Yeah.
From what you're saying.
Yeah, which is kind of a bummer, like, because I feel like there's so much more they could be doing to just immediately put sillier stuff in front of you that like you kind of expect that game to do, because it's just like, you know, what you've come to expect from years and years of Kiryu. But like we'll see where it goes. Like I said, it really feels like that first chapter is designed to just be run through and just like mainlined as a story. It's only now in chapter 2 that I've started even getting the opportunity to explore a little bit more.
Compared to like other, if you played other games that have like an investigation element, like, something similar, like, any other, like, how would you compare it to them? Like, how intuitive is this? Like, how, like, do you feel like it's too linear, or like, do you feel like there's like things in it that may make it like very flexible in terms of like, oh, you can actually make a wrong decision and fuck up something, like, and two, like, in terms of the gameplay, like, how far of a departure it is from the Yakuza series, where you feel like this thing is deserving to be really separate and distinct from it?
Well, I would say that, like, on the second point, like, the fighting system is basically the exact same as it is in Yakuza. Like, they straight up, like, reuse a lot of the, like, finisher animations and stuff like that. So, like, it is very much that engine just, like, ported onto a different thing. As, like, some of the tailing stuff that you have to do early on in the game is just straight up, like, this was a sequence in other Yakuza games that they're just, like, fleshing out into a mechanic. But as far as the actual, like, investigation of crime scenes and stuff, it is very, very basic. It is, like, you go into first-person mode and you look around, and then it, like, buzzes when you go over the thing you're supposed to hit, and then you zoom in on it and you press the button, and then when you get everything, it just says, you got everything, and you can close it. So it's very, very simple, and, like, one of the things that, like, I kind of expected when they were kind of talking about the game pre-release was I thought you would have to actually, like, go through the trials yourself. Like, you would have to present evidence and stuff like this. But you actually don't. It's just, like, cutscenes, basically. Yeah, and, like, there are parts, like, before the trial where you're, like, investigating by asking people questions and, like, checking out alibis or whatever. But, like, there's no wrong answer to any of that. Like, it'll give you, like, 3 or 4 things, and if you pick them in the right order, it'll give you, like, an experience bonus, but if you don't, like, you're still getting everything. Like, you can't fail it, basically. At least so far, you can't, like, ask a question that makes somebody go, like, no, I'm not talking to you, because I guess you need it to, like, advance the story. I don't know if maybe you can fail the side quests. That would seem like it's more likely, but at least for the main story, like, you can't really make a wrong decision, which is, I get it, but, like, it also feels like it kind of takes the challenge out of it in a lot of ways. Like, I can see how this could be, like, a really fun game once it really gets going, but it is a lot slower to ramp up than you're typically expecting from one of these games, and I don't know. I'm not 100% sold on it yet, but I still want to see the rest of it.
Yeah. Like, so far, like, at least the way you've experienced it so far, it seems like it's a very explicit, like, go from point A to point B sort of thing. It doesn't seem as, like, open as the teasers for it seems to have suggested. Like, it's like, oh, yeah, you're gonna... And especially the whole thing where you said, like, it basically leads you... Yeah. It, like, holds your hand when it comes to these investigations. Like, I don't know if maybe that's only a thing, like, early on, or later on, like, it's gonna be harder, but... Yeah. I think it's, again, a matter of, like, oh, like, maybe you have to, like, play it more. Yeah, it's just one of those things where it seems like it's hard to judge at this stage, right? Yeah. Because I was definitely interested in it as well. Yeah.
Like, you might turn around the corner and then all of a sudden they're like, well, 70 people have been released from prison. Time for you to figure out what to do.
Right, yeah. Like this whole, like, up to now it might just be, like, a whole, like, it's just teaching you the mechanics of how this thing basically works, right? Like, it has tons of room to get to, like, expand or whatever, but it also feels like it's going to be a very long game, like a lot longer than even Yakuza games usually are, so I don't know. It feels like there's a long way to go still. But yeah, I'm excited to see where it winds up.
Yeah, at least you're saying, like, the main story is still pretty good, so, like...
Yeah, I'm definitely invested in the story. Like I said, I just like the element of Yakuza that's just running around and getting into trouble, and that hasn't really happened yet, but there's plenty of time. And it's just nice to be back in Kamurocho as well. Like, I feel like I know that city like the back of my hand at this point after all these games, but like it's always nice to go back and see like what little changes they've made since the last time. So
yeah, I don't know how they do it, but like in any other game, I'd be like, oh, they reuse the map. But in Yakuza / just any game that studio makes, if it's not in Kamurocho, I feel weird. Like I'm like, bring me back, bring me home.
With is it Osaka?
Yeah,
is that the other one?
Yeah.
Like I'm getting there with that one because that's been in like 3 games now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So I'm like, all right, I know this one too.
Yeah, sure.
And I think also what's excellent about how they handle this thing too is that this is you're obviously closed off in very specific parts of the city. Like, the game is not an endless map you can like traverse around, but yeah, it doesn't feel that way. You don't feel limited. And I guess it's because of like all the tiny things you can do and all the wacky shenanigans you can just run into for no reason, like, and divert from like the main storyline, right?
Right.
And I think they do such a good job of like putting all these putting such life into like the cities like the games take place in, that you don't feel like you're confined, with these invisible video game walls, right?
Right. Yeah, like I think they do like maybe a better job than almost anyone at like making you feel like you're in a very specific place.
I played a little bit of Kiwami 2 recently, and I was especially appreciating how they added the ability to go into a lot of the buildings. Like you couldn't before. That really helps it make it feel like, oh yeah, this is just a zone in a town, It's really... I'm glad that they improved that engine eventually. New engine, I guess.
Well, that's good to hear. And also maybe a little slightly frustrating, but as long as the base game is still good, that's fine. LV, how about you? What's going on in your end?
Oh boy. So, the beta for Monster Hunter Iceborne came out as of, today. And I mean, there's really not, I can say a lot, but there's not much to say on it to be fair. Like, I can summarize it. Well, there's a new place. It's pretty cold. There's snow everywhere, right? Mm-hmm. There's new weapons. Like this is me summarizing it in the most generic way possible. There's new weapons. There's going to be new monsters to hunt and new clothing. Very cute outfits. Very cute armor. I mean, it's a cold place. And yeah, I mean, I haven't played Monster Hunter in a long while, to be honest, and like just seeing this and like the lead up to it really pumped me up. I was like, I played a bit of it, so it made me pretty pumped up and pretty excited, and like revived my interest in this again. So essentially this expansion takes place after the main game storyline. Mm-hmm. Back on, oh shoot, there's really no story again besides like, oh, we found this new place, we gotta research more monsters and I guess kill them. Like that's pretty much it. But it's cool. Like from what I experienced, there's just these nice I mean, I think, and Monster Hunter world in general, like, I think deals with this very nice, like, just the subtle elements of, like, the weather effects, like, the fact that it introduced a concept of endemic species that a lot of the other Monster Hunter games don't do. Like, it really makes me curious about this, like, space, and, like, I want to take my time exploring this space. Yeah, like, it's just like, oh, yeah, and, like, if you're a 100% completionist, obsessed person, like, this is also the game for you. But... yeah, there's nice effects when it comes to, like, snow building up on your character's armor. You see even on the Pelican, your weapons, actually, like, you can get, like, there's a freeze effect that you can face now. I mean, that's been, but, like, it's more dire at this point, because I believe, but I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I have to read up on more. Like, I couldn't tell, but I'm not sure if the cold of, this new space, which is a deeply unfortunate, name. I don't know what to do. It's called the Hoarfrost, but
yeah, I've heard a lot of that from Final Fantasy. Let me tell you.
God.
But nonetheless, yeah, like the care taken when it came to like some of the winter and cold wintry elements is top notch. Yeah, and then like the new base is I can't. Well. yeah, you'll basically be in. There'll basically be a new base for the hunter to stay in, and there's also like a bunch of new NPCs for you to run in. That basically provide the same resources as the other bases do in the rest of the game. There's what interested me in particular in the trailer is that there's this older Palico that, in place of the terrifying Palico chef in Asteros, which is the the muscly Palico with the scar on its eye that looks like it can beat you up and kill you. There's this nice grandmotherly looking Palico that will be the chef in this new base, and it's really cute. I highly recommend looking it up. It just seems like she's the type of like, grandmother to embrace you in her warm kitten mitts. But it's very cute. There's a lot of things very cute about it that I'm looking forward to. Like if you watch the trailer for it, it's very unintentionally funny too. And like following this development, I learned a lot. I learned a lot, like not only like recovering like, not recuperating my knowledge of the game because again, I haven't played so long, but also I didn't realize so many people hate the handler character.
It's fucked up, right? I don't get it.
What did she do? Right? And
I don't know. I can list one reason.
Or is it what
okay?
didn't she do? Okay, all right.
One reason is that it becomes I wouldn't say this is a reason to hate her, but it does become a bit of a joke that like as you're playing through the main game story, every single time a monster's introduced, she's inexplicably there and just being like, I'm gonna get eaten by the monster, like every single time. Which like is like fine for like the first couple, but then you get to number 38 and it's like, yeah, man, what are you doing?
That is true, but I feel like it doesn't really mess up like
the
game itself. It's really like you would see this like again, don't look at the comments, but I did. The Iceborne trailer release, talking about like, oh wow, they're really pushing the handler in our faces this time. I'm like, whoa, what did she do? She is the expansion.
She's just a normal lady. She's your friend.
I don't understand. Like but I can see what the possible annoyance be. Like, she's constantly talking to him, but it's also like, well, that's her purpose. Like, what can you do about it? Like, I kind of like she has a personality compared to how like the other guild receptionists and other handler characters in the previous games were just very silent and were just they were just there. Like,
I will say that I agree with you, but also the guild marm from Monster Hunter 4 who really wanted that one dragon to fuck her is like an inspiration.
I forgot about that one.
Where like all of her like writing is like completely normal, and then anytime you fight this one type of dragon, she's like, "Whoa, can you tell him to call me?" Like, what? Like, it's like, what the fuck?
I forgot about that. Yeah. But yeah, Monster Hunter Iceborne. Right now, it's only available, I think, to PS Plus.
Yeah,
and then next week,
it's free next week, right?
Next week everyone can try it out. But officially, I don't think it releases until September. That's quite some time away.
Mm-hmm. And December for PC, which is like, oof, because that game's already delayed.
Yeah, September for PS4. I mean, I can't really say much about it. Like, it's cool that they're introducing this whole new environment and they're taking care to like acknowledge, this is not just a new place. This is a place that is cold. There is snow. We are going to actually take these elements into account and incorporate into the game. Yeah.
So two things. One will be a question, one's an opinion. Here's my opinion. I'm glad that they're doing an expansion to this game because, like, playing the Witcher 3 shit that they did, like, just a little bit ago was like, this is, like, they're trying really hard. This is sick as hell. Like, where you literally just play as Geralt and go around and it has the Witcher font and you do quests and shit. Like, it was like, all right. That makes me excited for whatever they do next. And two, did you notice any of the difference with, like, I know you can use like the grappling hook now.
Oh,
like,
yes,
all the time
I totally
and stuff.
that's a big thing. I totally forgot. Yes, the clutch claw. I felt like it kind of I'm not gonna say it makes the game easier, but it's there. It's there for you if people so choose to want to use it. Like, it makes mounting monsters like easier, so to speak. But again, I used it in such a limited way that I'm playing it based on like, the easier like missions they're providing the beta, right, for people to try, right? It does change the game a lot now that it's like no matter what weapon you have, everyone kind of now has this assisted means of being able to mount a monster more easily. Again, I can't really say in terms of like purist of like Monster Hunter, where it's like, oh, this is ruining the game or makes it too easy. But I definitely would agree. Like, I think this adds like an ease of difficulties in some aspect. It does change the game a lot. I think by just this one additional like element. And what was the other thing?
Oh, I was saying that I'm excited for whatever. Did you do any of the crossovers at all? Like any of them?
Yes, I have. Cool. I have. I done. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I done a bit of the Witcher one, and yeah, that's that was insane. The attention to detail in regards to like actually putting.
Yeah.
The only thing that weirded me out was well, it wasn't really crossover, was it? I probably played it too. There was a Street Fighter one that didn't make a lot of sense.
Oh, it had like Ryu or whatever, right? But like it had Sakura too.
It did have. It did. It balanced
but like
out,
you could only get Ryu layered armor or something like that.
Yeah.
The one that was like really exciting to me that I never did because you need like 8 people for it or something was the Final Fantasy one.
Yeah.
Where they like I've heard they actually put MMO mechanics and stuff into it, which is
I don't think I was actively playing her at the time, but I think it was simultaneous to the Vice an event also simultaneous to the MMO itself.
Yep.
Which was cool. Yeah. Those two worlds do make sense together in a way.
Yeah. It's weird to see a cactar walking around fucking Monster Hunter World in high definition, though.
It's satisfying to have it as a pet. It's very cute.
Yeah.
Okay. Rose.
Hi.
You've been playing a big game for a while.
It's such a big game, John.
Yeah. What have you been up to?
So, like, I'm fucking crazy, I just want to say right now, because, like, this is back off the fucking tail of, like, me playing Octopath for, like, 700 years. I was like, oh, yeah, I'll do Dragon Quest XI next. I do want to say it's a lot less weighty than Octopath is on my body and mind. I've dabbled in Dragon Quest games before. I have 8 and 5, something for the 3DS. Whichever the 3DS ones are, I have both of those.
Okay.
I played like 1 hour of each of them. It was like, this is a JRPG, that's for sure. And then I played 11, and I was pretty immediately like into it because this will be like spoilers for like the first like half hour of the game, but like it like starts out with the classic Dragon Quest like 1 style of thing where it's like, oh, you're the hero, you're gonna kill the Dark Lord or whatever, go in, and you go to like see the king or whatever, and the king's like, well, listen, every single time that the hero of light shows up, a fucking evil dude shows up too, so I think you're both to blame for this, get the fuck out of here.
I kind of get it.
Yeah
I get it too, and it was just like he immediately like throws you in prison, and you have to like basically just like run away for like a good half of the game, which is a good conceit for like a JRPG like that, because usually it's just like, go around, get the orbs, which you do go around and get the orbs, but that's later. It's the way I've been describing it is this is the epitome of a JRPG. This is like everything that when you think of a JRPG, this is it. It does everything like very classically. It does it all very like arguably basically, but it does it all so exceptionally well, like without a degree of like, oh, this is frustrating that I have to do this, that it just comes off like so much easier than like, for example, some of the Final Fantasy games, which all have like a ton of experimentation and stuff, And I think that for the most part, like most of the party members are pretty good, although it's fairly basic stuff.
Right.
The most interesting character to me is Sylvando, who is like this very flamboyant clown knight who is like, you meet him and he's a clown in the circus.
I'm sorry, I'm just like,
it's the concept of a clown knight, yeah. And then he like finishes that arc where he joins your party by like doing like this insane like sword like slash and like destroying a giant like dragon or whatever, and then he like says like some chivalric thing and everyone's like, what the fuck did that clown just say? And he's very flamboyant, like for the rest, like he's very like he's like fun, he's like very like close to everyone and nice, and like everyone loves him. He's just like the most interesting character because like you figure out like, oh, he's like a knight, here's why he was a knight and stuff like that. And I've never, like, I have to say the concept of a clown knight is very original to me. I've never considered a clown knight.
It's very bold.
It's very bold, yes. But I've been liking him, but a lot of the other party members are just like, here's your healer girl, you know, she's shy. Here's your fighting girl, she fights. And that does take me to another point, which is I had heard Dragon Quest is not great about women, and they were right. It is not great about women. Like there's the obvious, like, do you know about the puff puff thing?
Oh yeah, I do remember that. Yes, it's like a yeah.
It's like a weird, like, pseudo sex joke.
Yeah. It's a recurring joke about the series. Like I do recall the puff up thing being like a big thing about the whole.
It's in like all of Toriyama's shit. Like I'm pretty sure I've seen it in like Dr. Slump too. It's just like, hey, this lady who put her boobs in your face. Oh boy, like
So here's the thing.
Accidentally.
I was fine with it, in quotation marks, until when it was just you go to a town and sometimes an NPC's like, oh, puff puff time or whatever. That was fine. The problem is when I got Jade, the fight lady, and half of her moves are like does the puff puff and like slams her ass into someone's face and stuff, and it's like and even that would have been something that I wouldn't have minded too much, except that Jade's character arc later is that she becomes a bunny girl slave, and then that becomes her superpower, is she turns back into her bunny girl slave form.
Huh.
Okay. Alright, so this actually originated in Dragon Ball, but I was not aware of this because of course they changed this. They changed it basically. They didn't have it in the dub.
Yeah.
So it was something about Bulma said it when she was. It was the arc where she was in the bunny outfit, and she basically said it in terms of like doing a favor for like Roshi. I don't remember exactly, but it was around that arc, and I can see why this was brought up. But I did not notice until me 2 years old because yes, they just outright did not have the puff puff joke in the dub version. There definitely was a sexual joke, but not puff puff. if I don't remember the scene specifically, but she was in the bunny outfit, so I could see that the trickle down effect of like, let's keep referencing this thing we do not need to. Yeah.
Toriyama's just got this like
he's
bunny
so
girl
horny.
He is. Fetish, yeah. He really is.
And it's like sometimes there's really good women in the game, and then it's just like for every one of those, there's 10 of these things happening.
Yeah,
right. It's just like
like very.
Yeah, and I do find it kind of like disappointing that like Dragon Quest was one of the first games that had gender options, and like this one doesn't, for no reason, I guess. But like I'm generally like enjoying the game. My only real problem besides the women stuff has been like, as it keeps going, I'm in hour 60 stuff, like fucking 2 or something. I am just about to finish Act 2, which is the ending, and then I heard that the post game is basically the entire last third of the game, called Act 3. Oh boy. Okay. But my only problem has been that everything feels dragged out, and it's inexplicable to me because it's not like it's being dragged out so that there's more game, because even if you removed all these moments where they're dragging things out, the game would still be like 70 fucking hours long or something. But like this last arc was like the epitome of it, where it was like, okay, so I need to go to this volcano to make a sword. Oh no, the door to the volcano is locked. Walk all the way back to the town. climb to the top of the town in this fucking three-dimensional environment. Talk to this lady. She goes, oh no, there's a monster on the mountain. Walk back to where I fucking was on the mountain. Go to a side path. Talk to someone. Go down the mountain. Go back. Talk to the lady at the top of the town again. Go back. Go through a tiny dungeon that's one long hallway. Go back to the town. Go to the top of the town. Go to the bottom of the town after a 3-second cutscene to fight a monster.
Do you talk to the old lady again?
Go back to the top of the town. Go back to the mountain. Go back down that hallway. Fight the boss again that you fought before. Go back to the town. Go to the top. And now you can go to the mountain. And it was like, that took like fucking 2 hours for what should have been like fucking 20 minutes. Like, I'm not saying like, oh, cut out that arc entirely. I'm saying there are ways they could have condensed all of that like busy work of me walking all the way down the mountain, up the top. Like, you know, like, to give an example, in Final Fantasy XIV, what they started to do in the later game is, like, if a cutscene says, oh, we should go to this location that's, like, far off in another city or something, it just puts you there. Mm-hmm. It just instantly puts you there, because what's the fucking point? Like,
there's no gain in, like, forcing a player to go through just, like, the trek of exploring the same place over and over if there's nothing new to offer that, like, unless there's actually a reason, there really
that's the
isn't.
thing too, is like, if it's an RPG, so like if there were monsters I was fighting, but there weren't any monsters along those paths because I'm going through a town and a mountain. I thought there were, like, because that's why it sounded more miserable. Only on, like, near the last boss there were enemies. There were none, so it was just me walking.
So there was nothing to gain or
there was
lose.
Absolutely nothing. It was just absolutely nothing.
Okay, yeah, that's bad design.
Yeah, it was just like, at a certain point, like I said, like, your game is going to be like 70, 80 fucking hours anyway, even if you don't have this stuff. Like, why even do it? And it's sort of like a running thing with that game that I do criticize, is that they reuse the same plot point of, you go to a location, oh, things aren't quite what you appear, you have to do like 2 hours of stuff before you get the thing you want. Oh no, turns out even though you did that, the thing you want isn't somewhere else. Like, they do that like 6 times.
So basically there's like a locked door, you gotta get the key. Oh, turns out it's not the key you thought was, and you gotta go get a special key. Oh, oops, the special key is somewhere else. That's like 5 different ways just to open a door, right?
The worst example is to get this branch at the beginning of the game. You go to a town and you go through this entire process to get this fucking branch, and then the dude's like, I sold it. And it's like, okay. And so let's go to the port merchant town. Go to the port merchant town. Oh, he went on a boat. And it's like, okay. And then it's like, well, while he went on the boat, you have to do the story that's going on. And it was just like, they drag out like these things, and then like the thing that you're getting isn't anything that amazing. Mm-hmm. Which is kind of the problem.
Yeah, it sounds exhausting even with just you describing it.
Yeah.
I'm not even like playing it.
I know. Like, and it's like, the thing is, I was
interested in playing it, but it sounds so time intensive that
it is very time. I will say it is still very good. I think that the story for the most part is like pretty good, because it's very classic style, but it's like modernized in the right ways. Like, it's not like, for example, one of my problems with Octopath Traveler was that it was so old school JRPG story, where like, to the point of like, we're not going to talk about like the specifics of X thing because that an old school RPG wouldn't do that, you know? But they like explain everything. They go in depth. They talk about relationships and stuff like that. Like, one of the things is like, your character is an orphan at the beginning of the game, and they go in on that later in the game. Like, they actually, like, I didn't expect them to. Like, fucking like hours later, they start actually talking about that and like how that affects your character. And I was like, that's interesting, because you wouldn't expect that from a very classic style JRPG. And it's just like, it's very nice. Everything's polished to hell. Like, it's a very good game. It's just like, it's kind of a problem inherent with the genre. And I think it's like something that's been frustrating me too, because I recently played Radiant Historia as well. And that's a 30-hour game, which I think is the perfect length for a JRPG, personally.
I agree.
Because it means that your systems don't get fucking overused to hell. But I think Dragon Quest is honestly working well with its time. Like, I find, like, all of the new things that I'm doing compelling for the most part. It's just the way that they're going about having me do it to an extent.
I think it's definitely still one of the most successful series, really, in that genre. Yeah, definitely.
Absolutely. I'd say, like, I love Final Fantasy because it is the, like, most experimental of the JRPG, like, big name JRPGs. Like, it's always trying something new every single fucking time. And Dragon Quest, I would say, is, like, the paragon of JRPGs, probably. Having played this one and having played a couple other ones, like, this is the default, basically, right? Like, and then I admire that, you know, to an extent. Like, they do a very good job of making that thing.
Yeah, I think, like, the genre... I think, like, like, in the past years, I think the genre has been struggling about, like, should we experiment more or should we stick to just the basic format? And, like, it really is based on, like, different players and their reception. Like, there definitely is, like, you know, like, in Final Fantasy, for instance, and when your concerns with Octopath Traveler, your experience with it, how... there's, like, you know, Final Fantasy fans who much prefer the older games and they really don't like the modern games. They really don't like, you know, 7 on, you know, for that reason. But then meanwhile, there are people like myself. Again, I'm not even that, I'm not even a strong Final Fantasy fan. You know, like, I very much entered the series 10 onwards. But otherwise, I did not grow up with it. I don't have the same nostalgia that some people do have with the series. But I came into the series, like, the more modern reiteration of the game where they're doing all sorts of different things per game. And, like, I just only experienced the older games, like, as ports or remakes, like, later on, right? Like the first 3, for instance. So, like, but it's clear that I think the genre is struggling to, like, figure out what to do next because there is, like, a huge divisiveness in the community itself of players who are like, no, we should stick to the old formula. If it's not broke, don't fix it. But it kind of is broke. Honestly, based on, like, your description, right? And then meanwhile, people are like, no, we want to do something different. But then those other people, the opposition's like, no, then it's not JRPG anymore. You know, it's like it's
action RPG is the big thing now, right?
Like weird elitism over it, right? Like weird elitism and, like, gatekeeping over it. So it's curious to see, like, what's next, like what's going to be, like, the thing that is not from an existing IP, right?
Yeah, no, totally. I keep hoping for a new series in the JRPG genre because it's kind of just Tales, Final Fantasy, Dragon Quest, and then, like, one Atlas game every couple years.
The big 3, and then those other ones.
Yeah, it's like, it would be nice to see. There used to be so many fucking JRPGs that were all trying different things to an extent.
Yeah.
And, like, I get why they're gone, but it's like there was, like, Grandia.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Lufia, fucking Lunar,
like Old Fantasy Star, even, like...
Yeah, and like, none of those exist. Like, the closest you get is, like, Star Ocean, which hasn't been very well received, and also is kind of just Final Fantasy to an extent.
Yeah.
Or, like, old Final Fantasy, so it's like, it's... like...
Yeah, there was a huge dense, like, a bunch of them for some reason around, like, PS2, portable, like Game Boy Advance, like, that era at PSP for some reason. I'm not sure why, but...
It's just, like...
and then just disappeared.
Yeah, no.
A lot of them,
I kind of just hope that... Something about Bravely Default that I appreciated, and this is kind of Octopath as well, is that they like, did the classic style thing and they were trying other stuff, and I was hoping that someone would try that stuff and also do it well. Not to do a sick burn on Bravely Default, which I like, but I think the problems with those games are notorious at this point, like the repeating the same part over and over again and stuff. Like, I hope that, like, people took, like, the stuff like that where it was like, you customize, like, how many enemies you see, the difficulty, you do the boost things to do different attacks, you set up macros, like Final Fantasy 12, like, taking all these ideas and putting it together. And it was like, I was hoping, like, someone would take these concepts and keep moving forward. But it's like, when they do end up, like, trying to make a new JRPG, they never, like, implement these new features that are like, we, like, Octopath is the perfect example, where it's like, you can't set up auto battles, you can't set up, like, any of these things that modern things are, because everyone's focused on the past. It needs to be the past. And it's... I hope that, like, Tales of Arise, I'm hopeful for, because Berseria's like writing was a lot better than most Tales games had been at that point. And I hope that the game could match that, maybe. Because the gameplay in Berseria is, I'm never going to defend that, okay? I know, like, I love Berseria, but it's like a nightmare to play.
Yeah, you shouldn't.
It's just like... I hope that with Tales of Arise they like strike some sort of balance between the two and like at least try something different, because it seems like they are trying to do something different, you know? It's weird. JRPGs are, I don't know. I don't know if I'd say they're in the worst spot right now, but it kind of feels like that because everything's kind of just like one of two things.
Yeah,
But I recommend Dragon Quest XI. That's my overarching point here. Like, despite this little conversation we've gotten into, it is a very good game. Wait for the Switch version though, if you can play that one, because that they're adding like speed up for battles. They're adding like a whole ton of like other extra features. They're adding like hours of stuff. Yeah, I know you need more hours of this fucking game. But like,
yeah, it sounds like it's like if there's one problem with it, it's just too short. Like.
Yeah, I know. Like, it's just, it really, like... oh my god. I just, like, you have to understand, like, something happened halfway through the game that made me go, like, wow, that's amazing. I'm excited to finish this game. And then, like, I'm reading, like, it was, like, a really wild thing that changed the world of the game. And I was like, cool. And then, like, I was reading, like, guides on how to finish, like, a side quest or something, and it was like, you can buy the things from this after the major event in the post game happens. And I'm like, what the fuck is gonna happen next? Like, what can you do now?
It'll never end.
It will never end. But it's fun, you know? Like, I really do recommend it. It's just one of those things where you should probably take your time with it and not do what I'm doing right now, where I'm just, like, non-stop gaming for it. But it could definitely be the type of thing where it's fun. They even do, like, little catch-up things every time you start up the game. So, like, it's pretty easy to know, kind of like The Witcher did.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So you can keep track of, like, oh, yeah, this is where I was. So you could put it down for a while and come back, I think. It's that type of game.
It's acknowledging it's a long game, so we need to add this. Add this in case the player forgot where they were.
Yeah, and I'd say it's very hard to, like, lose yourself in the systems and stuff, because it's so, you know, basic JRPG stuff that it's just like it's pretty easy. I think this is probably one of the closest games I've seen that you could definitely put this down for a while and come back.
Okay, that's good. Because I think I definitely struggled with that with JRPGs. Like, you know, and I get, you know, with most video games, you hit a frustrating point and then you leave it for a while. You're like, oh no, I don't, you know, and you come back. But usually with JRPGs specifically, it's like, I don't know where I am. I'm like in the world map. Where am I? And then I go, it's just. And like, you know, I try to go through like the hints of like, oh, is there a journal feature? Or like, I don't know, but there's nothing really helping me to indicate like the information I've like tracked so far. Like, definitely, I think some titles have things like a log or something, or like a way you can check in previous quests. But for the most part, a lot of them don't, or at least not in like an easy way to backtrack. Like it's something like do I have to go back to the previous place and like talk to an NPC to figure out what the hell is going on and like where was I when I last played this game, right?
Okay. So I guess I have just like small game updates, so I'm just gonna run through them real quick. Speaking of Dragon Quest, I tried Dragon Quest Monsters Joker. That was a DS game.
Oh, what's that one about? Because I know Rocket Slime.
It's one of the monster battlers. It's kind of weird, a little obtuse. You're just going around, like, collecting Dragon Quest monsters by, like, taming them with a magic ring. It kind of plays like Yokai Watch in that you don't have active control over the monsters. You just, like, tell them, hey, you should go all out, or, you know, conserve your MP, or defend more, that kind of thing. But it's okay. I'm not like crazy about it, but it's fine. Another game that I'm playing that I'm actually really into is Drill Dozer. Drill Dozer whips ass. If you don't know, it's one of the few games that Game Freak has made that is not a Pokemon game. It's a GBA game. It's got an absolutely adorable art style. You play as this band of thieves. that are trying to steal a diamond from another group of thieves because it was like their mom's special heirloom before she died. And you play as this girl named Jill who goes around in this like drill mecha, this little drill mecha, and you have to hit the R button to rev up the drill, and it's just like all the levels are based around you sneaking around, drilling shit, stealing treasure. It's very cute. Highly recommend it. Really good soundtrack, and it's also just really funny. Like, the soundtrack is very Pokemon-esque, because it's got, like, the same sound font as the, like, Gen 3 Pokemon games. But it's also just really funny hearing, like, sound effects that were in Pokemon, too. Like, obviously it's because it's the same company, but I don't know, my nerd ass just, like, pressing the button to have, like, Jill, like, start, like lean out of her mech and, like, look around, and just hearing that, like sound that was all over the place in Gen 3. I'm just like, oh my god, that's so weird, but so funny. And lastly, this is just a little show off moment here. Folks, I recently took the time to fill up my Alolan Pokedex in Ultra Moon. I got
congrats.
Yeah, I got every single Pokemon in the Alolan Dex. I don't have them. I got some help from some folks in the Chooch Discord, and Rose, who helped me out with some of it.
Team effort.
Yeah, just trading back and forth so they got into my Pokedex. And in that game, once you fill out the Pokedex, you can get a shiny charm, and that actually makes it so shiny Pokemon show up easier. And the big reason why I wanted to do that is because I finally wanted to sit down and actually get a shiny Mewtwo. And I did it. I found a shiny Mewtwo, and it didn't even take me that long. I was doing it for like an hour. Like, I wasn't doing it like actively, and like I was like, I'll do it for a little bit like tonight, and then I did it like again the next night. But I had to have been doing it for like an hour tops. And I found one. And I'm so glad. Like, I've wanted a shiny Mewtwo for years. Like, I play as the shiny Mewtwo color in Smash Bros. I'm so happy, because now it's not just like, I play as a shiny Mewtwo because no, I play as a shiny Mewtwo because I have a shiny Mewtwo. It's legit. It doesn't have a great nature. It's okay. I think it like raises its defense and lowers its attack, which, that doesn't hurt it because I could just use like special attack. But it's not like it has, like, plus special attack or plus speed or anything, which is what I really want. But it's okay. I'll live. Because it's fucking green instead of purple. So I'm happy about that. And that's kind of what I've been playing. Niall, how about the game that I'm super jealous that you're playing? Because I really want to play this. How do you feel about Bloodstained?
I think it's fine. Like, I saw everybody, when it came out on Tuesday, being like, oh, this is Game of the Year, this is, like, perfect, this is amazing. And I was sick on Tuesday, so I didn't really get to try it. So when I actually did sit down and play it, I was like, yeah, it's alright. Like, it's Symphony of the Night, it's just that, like, but I've sort of, I've warmed up to it more now as I've kind of gotten into the rhythm of it. I've never been like a huge Castlevania fan. I was always more of a Metroid guy.
Yeah, I was gonna ask.
But like, I feel like once you like get into the heart of the castle, and once you're like comfortable with the weapons, and once you're like starting to build out your like magic attacks and stuff to the point that like you aren't just using what you have because it's what you have, and you're like, you're developing like what you actually want to have to play the game the way you want to play it. Like, it dramatically improves, and then you just like it has this really, like, it's sort of like once you start picking up speed with it, you just keep going and going and going and going. And like, I was playing it yesterday for a little while, and I kept going like, I'm going to get to the next save room, and then I'm going to put it down and go back and play some more Judgment, and then I would get to the next save room, and I'd be like, I feel like I'm on the cusp of something here, so let me go forward to the next one. And like, so it's like, it's very good once it gets going at just like keeping you engaged with it and keeping you playing it. I'm still like not super far into it. I'm maybe like 4 or 5 hours in, so I'm probably like, I would imagine like a third into the game maybe at this point. Yeah, I like it. It's fine. Like, I don't have a ton of like super like interesting stuff to say about it, honestly. I think it does the job that it's trying to do pretty well. I feel like the actual platforming stuff in it could be better though. Like, it's very sort of hit and miss. It's very like, it does the thing, like, you know, when you clearly land on the platform, but you go through it because, like, it's decided you didn't hit enough of the pixels or whatever. I find that it does that all the time, which is kind of frustrating. And
Egavania,
yeah. The combat, like, is fine, but it's not amazing. I feel like it's a step slow at times. I feel like a lot of weapons are just not viable. Like, if it's like, I wanted to use the whip early on, and I was like, this is just too slow to come out with attacks. Like, two-handed weapons are just too slow to come out with attacks. You kind of need to be using a dagger or a one-armed sword or something like that to get that, like, proper balance of power and just speed of attack.
So have you experimented with? I heard that they all have like move sets or something. Have you experimented with any of that yet, or is that something later?
That might be, well, like, the moveset stuff is like, so you'll run around as you're running around the castle. You'll find like bookshelves, and they'll be like, you know, do this like quarter circle with attack, and if you have, you know, a sword or a rapier or a scimitar or whatever, it will like toss out air blades or whatever, you know? Like, it's that kind of like, sort of like fireball motions in like a Street Fighter or whatever, but they're useful, but like, I feel like they're not as interesting as just the regular magic spells that you get. 'Cause as you're killing enemies, you're like collecting shards that give you their powers to use as magic spells, which is what you're spending your mana on. You know, it's like, it's all fine, but I'm not like in love with it, but I'm still going through it. It's one of those games where, you know, like, I wouldn't say like I'm absorbing any of it really, or like I'm super invested in any of it, but playing it during like a Discord call last night, I just wasn't putting it down either. So, you know, it's one of those games, I feel like, to me. I think if you're like a huge Symphony of the Night fan or just a big Castlevania fan, you'll probably get a lot more out of it than I am. Like I said, I don't love those games to begin with. I'm just like not a huge fan of them. But yeah, it seems totally fine. If you are the kind of person that was like super invested in the idea of Bloodstained 5 years ago or whatever it was when they announced it, and, you know, like, you were worried as the release was coming up that it was going to be another Mighty Number 9 or something like that, I don't think you need to worry about that. Like, I think if you have certain expectations for this to be a very faithful Castlevania game, those expectations will be met, and that's about all it will do, I would assume.
Okay.
You know, like, it's like, it's not going to make you go like, oh wow, Symphony of the Night has been beaten, like that game is nothing anymore. Like, this is everything you could possibly have wanted from a sequel. It's way better. But like, if you're just like, yeah, I would like to play one of those games again, that was good, that's what this is.
Mm-hmm.
Sounds good to me.
Yeah.
Me too. Alright. Elvie.
Yeah.
What the hell is going on with the Harry Potter mobile game?
Okay.
Yeah, what is?
All right. What is Harry Potter Go? That is not the name. People do call it Harry Potter Go. Like, let's be honest.
Mm-hmm.
The name really is Harry Potter Wizards Unite. Okay, I'm going to say this up front. I am not a Harry Potter fan, but Yeah, most of my knowledge of Harry Potter, and I yes, as a kid, I definitely read a couple of the books, but it was not something, again, I dedicated myself to complete. Especially when the movies came out, I was like, okay, fuck
Sure.
it. And yeah, I do enjoy the movie series, like, for the most part, right? Generally, it's like, okay, this is good. Like, I grew up with that generation of people who, like, very much were part of the big Harry Potter wave. That still, leaves its legacy in both good and bad ways to this day, right?
Mm-hmm.
And here we now have Harry Potter Wizards Unite, which is essentially, an AR game by Niantic, who also made Pokemon Go. And I would say this up front, like, I played it very briefly. I played it like literally 2 days ago, and this is actually a solid mobile game. I'm gonna, this is a solid, and I'm also gonna draw from my friends who are bigger Harry Potter fans who played this thing way more.
Right.
Actually, to be honest, I really just opened this up, like, oh yeah, this is an opportunity to try this thing. And yeah, this is a fleshed out mobile. Like, I can tell, like, Niantic, like, learned from their mistakes from Pokemon Go, which also is a game I have not opened up. So if there's any mistakes in terms of, like, how Pokemon Go has been recently, like, please correct me for anyone who has been playing it still consistently. This is a fleshed out game. It's like they clearly knew what they were working with. Like, they have all these mechanics in place that I think, like, again, it's a lot of it clearly is like, oh yeah, this is just taking a lot from Pokemon Go, and we're gonna just apply Harry Potter logic to it. But this is a fleshed out game where, like, they have, like, all, I think, the mechanics they really want for this game in place as is, and, like, I don't see this game changing more than it needs to, really, besides, like, based on community reception.
Mm-hmm.
So essentially, this game takes, like, okay, in the grand scheme of Harry Potter, my understanding is this game takes place today, like, now. Literally now. Oh gosh. Oh no. So the premise of the game is that you're among, like, many other wizards and witches that have to be on this, like, task force thing to retrieve all these magical artifacts that got scattered and stolen across the world, in addition to, like, a bunch of these magical creatures games. Like, so it's taking more from the Fantastic Beasts series.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's now a series. It used to be one book, but people, like, it's now a movie series. But anyway, it's taking more from the Fantastic Beasts playbook, so it's more of, like, it's playing more off, like, oh yeah, this is, like, a big scavenger hunt around the world. We gotta find these things and bring it together, as opposed to, like, the typical Harry Potter premise of, like, you're in a boarding school learning magic stuff, and you're gonna meet all these cool things. So this is really taking, this is taking more from Fantastic Beasts, really. And yeah, the premise is the reason this happened is that some sort of calamity. It's literally called a calamity. This thing marked in Harry Potter series is called the Calamity. It's a spell, maybe? I'm not sure. Well, anyway, some big magical explosion probably happened. This is my own interpretation of what happened. Something bad happened. Some big explosion, and, like, it caused, like, all these rips across time. It's really fucked up, actually. It caused all these rips in time and space. So yeah, that's why all these creatures and, like, artifacts are scattered throughout, air quote, what, as they call the Muggle world. This is why they're all here. And yeah, it's up to you who has to, like, get them together and, like, fix this shit. And, eventually, maybe at some point, the game will address the bigger plotline of, like, who caused this and why, etc. So it's also, like, the game's justification as to why you're seeing old characters, like, also dead characters. Like, oh, why is Hermione here? Like, as an NPC. That doesn't make sense. This game takes place today, 2019. And you're also, yes, in the United States or something, like, stuff like that. It's using, which is, like, okay, that's fine, that's cool. Like, yeah, that makes sense. I can take it. Like, it's specific, but also vague enough where, okay, like, I will just, yeah, these weird things that are happening, it's just magic. Sure. That's fine. But to get to the point, yes, battles are basically these cool, like, magic duels. Your encounters are, like, evil wizard people that are trying to stop your plan from saving the world or something. And yeah, a lot of the Pokestops are basically, Pokestops are basically inns for you to heal up. So there's no Pokeballs, but you have, like, an energy kind of stamina bar that you use, and that's, like, okay, yeah, a more accurate way to describe it, it's like a mana bar in, like, most RPGs, right?
Sure.
In most fantasy games. Yeah, it's like, it's a charging meter. So you don't have Pokeballs, but you need that to, like, cast a spell each time. And noticeably, it is already frustrating. Like, this is how they get you to want to pay up to recharge. So, like, unlike most mobile games where, like, you can recharge, like, energy or stamina to play the game, essentially, like, this game doesn't, which is pretty fucked up. like, so you actually have to go out of your way to play this game to recharge your meter to, like, do the spells. Otherwise, you're gonna be screwed over. To make any sort of progress in the game. But yeah, that's essentially it. So the equivalent of like catching Pokemon is really like, oh yeah, finding creatures and finding items in the game. Yeah, it's like, that's really my like impression of it. It's like, okay, yeah, this is cool, this is solid. Like, if I was into Harry Potter, I would love this, and probably like, you know, if I was playing Pokemon Go, if I'm a Harry Potter fan, I probably would like choose this game over Pokemon Go, then like move on, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's pretty solid game. Again, it has bugs that would, you know, kind of foreseen, especially in this stage where like so many people are playing it. Plus it being put out super recently. My biggest complaint really is kind of like, it has full voice acting, which is crazy. My biggest complaint really is like how it looks visually right now. Something about it seems not appropriate for Harry Potter. For instance, the map still looks like the map in Pokemon Go, but I don't know if that's something they can change just based on like satellite or GPS technology. But it's just weird seeing these very like, you know, these English castle-like structures in the map that's basically Pokemon Go. It doesn't look right. It's mostly aesthetic things that, I mean, again, it's not something I really, you know, sat down and walked and played this game like thoroughly, but like just my impression of it, it's more good than bad, but it's mostly the aesthetic and UI of it that seems a little weird and not. It doesn't. It's like it has all these elements, but something about it still seems very surface for it to be a Harry Potter game and not still be compared to Pokemon Go. Like, I'm still like talking about it, for instance. I'm still referencing to Pokemon Go to talk about this game. So, but it does enough where I think like if they do more things with it, I think it can stand on its own, you know, not be in the shadow of Pokemon Go, especially for Harry Potter fans. So I'm saying if you love Harry Potter and like all that jazz, this is probably for you, and you don't need to play Pokemon Go anymore to like satiate that. But yeah, it's a good start. It's a good start, right? Yeah, like I don't know. Again, it might be contained within, like, something about Pokemon is more universal, whereas Harry Potter, even though as mainstream and as big, yeah, even add like international phenomenon it became. Like I don't know if it will be a threat to Pokemon Go in any capacity.
My question was going to be like how varied are the animals or like beasts and stuff like that you find, because like I feel like the thing with Pokemon that helps it go far is everyone has a favorite Pokemon, right? Whereas like with Harry Potter, I feel like if you like Harry Potter a lot, you would probably like the hippogriff things or the
that's one, definitely.
Werewolves or something, right?
Right. Like right now it doesn't feel very, it doesn't feel like there's a lot. So like I've noticed I keep encountering kind of the same sort of models for like spellcast, like enemies I have to like other spellcasters I have to run into and stuff like that, or like evil wizards. I don't know what the terminology, villains. I don't know what's the terminology appropriate for that, but I noticed like I do encounter like kind of the same things a lot. Like perhaps like similar to how Pokemon Go developed, they will be introducing more things slowly. You know, I don't think they're gonna drop like very important NPCs all at once, for instance. Like, yeah, it's that character.
Here's
that's cool.
Old
and,
Cop
like,
Harry.
Yeah. Yes. And like, yeah, like I think they're deliberately, you know, again, they're like, I guess because this is just really, they're deliberately not going to put everything in it, or like they're not ready to honestly put everything in it yet. Just testing the works of it. I mean, yeah, it's a pretty cool thing. So like, you know, for instance, like when you do spells and stuff, you have to like, you know, you use your finger to make shapes actually on your phone. Like you have to draw it. It's pretty cool. Like it's a nice cool thing that I think that does make it distinct. Yeah, it makes me curious about like, like if there's like
Lost Magic for the DS.
Finally. Yes. Yeah, like how it does like battles is very different. And I think that kind of makes it distinct. But yeah, like there's a lot of potential in it. Like again, it's mostly the mechanics. I think I'm like going into like, oh yeah, there's like a lot going on here that makes it more complete than when Pokemon Go came out. Like in compared to their launches. But like in terms of what it's offering, like there isn't a lot yet, I think personally. from my understanding of the Harry Potter universe, but there's potential. And like whether or not it would compete on the Pokemon Go level, like in terms of how many people will play, I'm not sure. I personally don't think so though. Like I definitely think this is really like Harry Potter fans will just play this specifically, Like, if there's if people are interested, like, it's one of those things where like, well, technically, yeah, like if there is like any other like magic based or premise similar like in the mobile game market, maybe someone who's not really a Harry Potter fan probably wouldn't play this, The allure of this really is because like, oh, this has Harry Potter stuff in it, and like it's continuing this never-ending franchise that who knows if there's an end in sight in terms of like how much more material can you make out of this? Really? But I'm saying it's a good mobile game to try it out if you're interested.
Okay.
Yeah.
Rose, another mobile game, I guess. Why are you saying that Animal Crossing Pocket Camp is horrifying?
Okay, so does anyone here play that?
No.
All right, given free reign. Okay, I haven't either. I played it for like an hour when it came out, and then I'm gonna be more than an hour. Okay, probably like a good amount when it came out, and then completely dropped it after the first week.
Sure.
And came back to it now. It's a fucking nightmare compared to what it was. Like, it's the same like really simple game where you're just like. This is something that it takes like all of the like joy out of Animal Crossing to me, like because like the whole thing with Animal Crossing is like you're very like subtly and gradually building up your friendships, like, and it's not tangibly shown to you that your friendship is increasing with someone. Whereas in this mobile game is literally all just every day you go over to your animal friend and you give them 7 items that they want, and then they don't talk to you anymore. And it's like,
the mobile game is like quantifies
everything. It's just there's no like mystery or like down to earthness about it, I guess. And they're also cowards because the whole conceit of it is that it's a camp, right? They give you a fucking house. They just give you a house. Like, the whole thing was, like, you had a trailer that was, like, a very large trailer, and you could, like, decorate it like a house before. And then the whole, like, conceit was, oh, you're decorating, the camp, or whatever that you have set up. And it fucking, like, now you just have a house, too, and you can have them go to the house instead. And it's like, all right, so this isn't a camp anymore. And also they started doing gacha banners.
Oh, my... What? How?
You get, the fortune cookies from New Leaf?
Kinda?
Where you could go in and use play coins to buy these fucking cookies that had Nintendo, like, stuff in it, or whatever. That was how you got, like, the Majora's Masks and stuff like that. That was, like, a thing where you could do it twice a day. This time, it's just straight up, you get the special currency, and then you can buy fortune cookies that work the same way as, like, a 10-pull in a gacha.
What the fuck?
And they, like, you pull it and you get furniture or whatever. But, like, this is the fucking insane part to me, is all of the banners last, like, 75 days.
What?
So there's, like, 20 up at any given time.
Oh my god. What is he doing?
It's, like, terrifying. Like, they don't explain any of this also, by the way. So, like, the fortune cookie stuff wasn't in when I played last time. They don't explain to me now that I'm returning what the fuck the fortune cookie thing is. It's just like, the fortune cookie thing. And it's just like, everything about that game is so scary to me. Like, how do people play this? It's so simple. Like, just play a real Animal Crossing game. I don't want to be that person, but I feel like you should probably just go play New Leaf or something. Because, like, you'll get a better experience just straight up than this. Like, it's terrifying to think of people wailing for Animal Crossing furniture.
It is frustrating and sad, like, if, for a lot of people who I believe this might be their first Animal Crossing experience, if you think about it.
Yeah,
like, it's like, no, this is not accurate to the game at all. Like, it's not this weird, constant, on-edge scavenger hunt thing just to, like, appease these villagers who might kill you in your sleep. You don't know that. Like,
you don't know that, yeah. You're just letting this fucking wolf stay at your camp.
Right. It's like, if you think about it, it's like, oh, I I gotta make sure the harvest is ready to sacrifice to the gods. Otherwise, like, who knows what's
Yeah,
gonna happen
that's
to my
like pretty
crops?
much exactly it. And it's like all the items you get from them are so fucking weird too. Where it's like you got a vial of cool essence, and I'm like, I don't
Ugh.
want this. What the fuck is this? Excuse me. I don't want like this cat to hand me a vial of like blue liquid. Like,
Wait, that's not even an item in the games. I recall. What is that?
no, you use it to make furniture that matches
okay.
that theme or whatever.
Okay,
But it's literally
alright.
a vial of like some liquid, and it's called like cool essence, cute essence,
God.
snooty essence.
Snootiness. Oh, the different types, the different personality.
Yeah, the personality types.
But
And
then,
it's
like,
just
that's implying it's made out of
them.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like they're giving you a blood sample. I don't like it.
Oh.
They're like struggling to stand up. Like, I'll give you
Here's
more.
the donation.
Like a,
I'll give
yeah,
you
they, like,
more
went
in an
to, like,
hour if you bring me some cookies and orange juice.
Well, yeah, they do ask for apples and stuff like
Oh,
that.
fuck.
So, you know.
Trying to get the sugar
There's like
back
an
up.
IV item you can't see.
Yeah, it's just like the way this has failed to like capture like any of the appeal to Animal Crossing to me is like crazy. It's like the most superficial thing where it's like the things that make Animal Crossing good to me are like the doing things in like a daily pattern, getting like a rhythm to it, you know, like you're doing things with goals in mind and stuff like that, and like, but it doesn't feel as much like that because the way that Animal Crossing really succeeds to me is the way it obfuscates like half of what's going on at any given time. Like it feels like you're just doing these, like a lot of the way the animals work is completely random, right? But there's like hidden values behind the scenes that explain like when they're going to do this, when they're going to do that. So you're like you're working off of these vague goals to do things. Like, whereas this is just, I have to get 3 apples every day. I give it to the thing. They give me a vial of their blood. I go back and I make a couch. Like, there's just a lot more nuance to normal Animal Crossing. And, like, the fact that this doesn't even have multiplayer as well, which is, like, always something fun to me. Like, or, like, stuff like New Leaf really added, you know, the public works where you could, like, you know, make bridges and stuff and feel like you're making a tangible difference in this environment that you have. Whereas this is the same environment for everyone. There's no interaction besides buying other people's things. It's just like, I'm glad that the new Animal Crossing looks the way it does, because if they hadn't shown that yet and I was playing this now, I would be so fucking worried. Like, it's just like really, ugh.
Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. There's some really weird and there's some good news and some weird news. Which do you want first?
I feel like the weird news will be shorter, right?
Sure. Okay. So, as we all know, Telltale got shut down, and a lot of their games have gotten delisted. But there's a weird one that is still available technically, but you probably shouldn't buy it, because each episode is $100. Minecraft Story Mode, specifically for 360, is still up on the Xbox Arcade, or, Xbox Live. And they don't want you to buy it, because the money isn't, like, going to anyone that would actually, like, see the money. It's probably just getting sent to, like, some assholes that have, like, stock in Telltale or some shit. I don't fucking know. But it is not going to any of the workers, and it's not even going to Mojang, I guess. So Mojang, I guess, pulled some strings and made it so each individual episode of Minecraft Story Mode is $100, so nobody actually buys it. It's really weird, but I guess that's what you gotta do, because on June 25th, so I guess like a couple of days after this comes out, it will actually fully be delisted. And I guess it's just, there's still some more strange stuff. Tales of the Borderlands is completely removed.
Yeah.
From there. I guess Batman is still available, but at its regular price. I guess whoever, like Warner or whoever's got the Batman rights, just doesn't care. A lot of their other games have just gotten taken off of like GOG and all that. Like Guardians of the Galaxy isn't on GOG, and there's Wolf Among Us. There's just like a lot of like, some of these games are, maybe they won't come back, maybe they will. Because I think like 2K has said that they're going to bring Tales from the Borderlands back at least. And I would not be surprised if Minecraft Story Mode didn't come back eventually, because like Mojang has the money to bring that back. Like they're going to want to bring that back.
Yeah, I think they said that like the reason that they had put them back up because they were delisting them, or they were already delisted, but it was like because of some weird way that the 360 works, people couldn't just like re-download them if they already had them. So they put them up at the 100 so that people who already owned them could get them downloaded again before they like take them back off in a few days. It's weird.
Okay. That is very weird. Well, there's that at least. Niall, do you have any fucked up stories to share as well?
Yeah, I mean, I guess it's time for the Randy report for this week, which I feel like I do every time, yeah, so everyone remembers that, Randy Pitchford has, had a pretty busy few months, let's say,
Yeah.
So last year he was, he found himself in a lawsuit with Wade Callender, who used to be like Gearbox's executive counsel, I believe was his title. He'd since left the company, and they were suing each other over various things. And among the allegations were, obviously Randy with the USB stick and some of the sexual violence and assault allegations that came out of him. But there was also the allegation that Randy had siphoned a $12 million bonus from 2K that was set to go into basically Gearbox's accounts to be paid to employees based on Borderlands 2 numbers, I believe. Randy had allegedly siphoned that $12 million for himself. And this past week, the lawsuit was updated, with Callender providing proof that, essentially this money did not go to Gearbox and instead went to, like, Pitchford Magic LLC, I think it's called. So,
wow.
Yeah. So,
Covert.
Yeah, covert. The weird thing was that, like, it seems as if somebody at 2K also signed off on this. So it's like weird collusion stuff, if this is all like as above board as it seems to be. Yeah, like I guess like, Randy Pitchford's reputation has been rough for a while now, and this is just like more proof that Randy is maybe not that great a guy, supposedly, allegedly. Have to say allegedly. Like, God, fucking... And then there was the stuff with Borderlands 2 that came out during the week. I don't know how many of you saw that.
I sure did.
Yeah, the new...
Yeah. That's fucked up.
Yeah, the new DLC where, like, because one of the people that Randy has had, a very public spat with, has been David Eddings, who used to voice Claptrap, and in this new DLC, there's like
fucking quest.
Where like Claptrap is trying to like scam people or something, and it backfires.
Well, like a cryptocurrency. Yeah,
and it like backfires, and he's like, "Oh no, now I have to go back to my old employers and beg for my job or whatever." And it's just like, come on, like. Because that came from Randy Pitchford. Like, that came from fucking Randy.
Yeah, I mean, do you know about the fucking, like, Valve thing
Yeah,
from Borderlands 2?
where-
Yeah, like, it's the same thing.
It's so petty and it's so childish, and it just seems like everything that Randy Pitchford is involved with is just like a mess and a disaster and just the worst. So yeah, it just gets worse and worse for him and for Gearbox. I'd like, if he didn't own the company, you would expect him to be like forced out, but I don't know if anyone can actually do that at this point. So that place is in kind of a mess.
It's very much not surprising to see John Vignacchi like get hired there for like a year and then immediately after that just leave for Nintendo. Like, get the fuck out of there.
Yeah. I would not be surprised if there's a lot of people trying to get out of there right now.
Mm-hmm. Good luck to all of them.
Yeah, seriously.
LV, why don't you talk about Soul Calibur 6? What's going on with that?
That's the problem. There's not a lot going on
Oh,
with that.
shit. That's like a newish game, too. Like, that's not old.
Okay. Well, the last major... Well, okay, the game literally updated 2 days ago. Like, maybe 2 to 3 days ago. You know, it was making minor adjustments that would be... that would be, like, again, I would consider I'm not a comp player. I'm not a competitive player for fighting games at all. I just, okay. Yeah. But it in terms of the updates, it done like minor it done things that seem minor to a player like me who doesn't really care about these sort of things. But it's done things that probably would be a big deal to competitive players. Where it made some fixes to some movesets, like Mitsurugi, for instance. Something about one of his attacks had like a delay and. One of his moves about 2 frames or something, and they had to adjust it. I think that was a thing people complained about with Mitsurugi. Like, very, very specific technical stuff like that would matter a lot to competitive players. I think they did something with 2B where they had to fix up something. But in regards to Soul Calibur 6, the last otherwise major update they had of the game was back in February when they introduced Amy as a DLC, who people familiar with the series would know, like, she was like a wanted, she was like a fan favorite character. But we know why though, unfortunately. Raphael's like kind of adopted daughter, like he took her in and took care of her, etc. in that storyline. But yeah, people like the game kind of has been quiet for long, and that's kind of worries. I don't know, but like again, like EVO is coming up, and that Soul Calibur 6 is in the lineup, so maybe there'll be major news in terms of like what's going on with Season 2 for the game. But not a lot has come up. There's been really huge gaps between updates for the game, and that's a little weird to me. Like, like once in a while I check in with the community, but not a lot's going on. A lot of the community activity is revolving around speculation of like who of Season 2. And supposedly a big file leak of like future DLC characters way back in January, but to this day only 1 or 2 of those characters has like, and so far people are feeling like the leak is accurate. Like the leak didn't really detail any like names specifically. It had like code names of characters, like yeah, what was one? It was like yell, or like color, like a color like yellow, and then one who was kind of obvious, like reptile. I'm like, okay, that might be Lizard Man. Okay, whatever. But otherwise, they literally like only released they literally only released like 1 or 2 dropped 1 or 2 characters since the games, which wasn't that long ago.
There's only been like 2 or 3, right? Like that's
for a fighting game. That's weird.
Yeah,
yeah. And there doesn't seem to be a lot of, like, again, I'm not deep in the circle of like the more serious parts of the community probably, but like it doesn't seem like much people are even bothered by it, or at least I'm not seeing probably like anyone who's angry about it. But the quietness of it is weird to me, especially in comparison to communities like more like other recently released fighting games, which may have something to do with it, like that got really competitive and then overshadowed, like for instance Mortal Kombat and the recent Dead or Alive. Like I wonder if there's like a strong but nonetheless, nothing much is going on with Soul Calibur 6, and people have been speculating stuff about like what's going on with Season 2 since like last year, yet nothing is really happening. So that's pretty weird.
I honestly would not be surprised if they just straight up didn't do anything, because it seems like the community moved on.
Right.
I think, like, Niall, I think we might have been talking about this a few nights ago, about how, like, nobody's, like, I think you specifically said that a lot of, like, the pro players are upset with, like, the reversal of thing.
Oh,
I
yeah,
don't remember what it was
reversal
called.
edge. Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
Like
Yeah. Reversal Edge definitely,
Yeah.
like, some people don't like it.
That's definitely, like, what drove me away from the game as well. It was just, like, trying to learn... Because, like, I'd been trying to get into a fighting game forever, and I picked that up, and it was just like... Oh, I hate this reversal edge system. It, like, feels like it cheapens everything, and, like, I'm gonna drop this. Like, but from what I know a couple of people who are still, like, actively playing it, and it seems like it's doing okay numbers for, like, CEO and everything, so, I don't know, like, I have a feeling that, like, and I haven't played or, like, paid any real attention to it outside of just occasionally seeing people post about it on Twitter, but, like, I feel like there is still a community for that game. It's just, like, it's small, but it's dedicated, is the impression I get from it, you know?
Yeah.
But, like, I obviously can't say anything about, like, how it's going as far as DLC or seasons or anything.
I could see something. I think, but I think that they would have to, like, make a big bombastic announcement. I think if they, like, said something along the lines of, we're doing season 2 and we are changing some of the gameplay mechanics, I think that would be more understandable. Especially because of how quiet it's been. Like, either them being quiet is a bad sign or a really good sign. There's not really an in-between. Because Tekken actually had something a little similar. Like, the only difference is that, like, they had more DLC characters in the interim. Because in between Season 1 and 2, there was a big gap where it was completely silent. And then they came out with Season 2, and there was just, like, it was all good characters, and they updated the game a lot, and they made it a lot better, and they put a lot of effort into it. So, maybe they're doing the same thing. Maybe they're gonna change how Soul Calibur 6 is.
Again, it's one of those things, maybe you're right, but also, it's one of those things where maybe you're right. Like, that could be, like, a stronger case for it, where, like, maybe people just gotta wait come August and wait for something big to happen around that show season.
I mean, if they patched it just, like, a couple of days ago, CEO is next week, so maybe something comes out there. I'm actually trying to, like, look at the CEO numbers for it. Like, there's 160 something people playing it at CEO, so it's not, like, doing badly. So I don't know.
Yeah. I will say there's a lot of fighting games that, like, are in really weird spots right now.
Yeah, there's
that.
There's a lot of fighting games.
Well, yeah, there's that.
That might be one problem.
That might be a problem. But yeah, like, fucking Dragon Ball. Like, that game came out swinging, and, like, during that Season 1 was so good. Like, it was crazy. And then Season 2 happened, and nobody cares anymore. Like, you know.
I mean, that was balancing things, right? Like, people just didn't like what they ended up doing to change characters and stuff, wasn't it?
I mean, that might be part of it. Like, one problem with it was that the game is just, like, not as fun to watch as it could be because the matches take so long.
Just like Dragon Ball Z.
Like, they do. Well, it's,
which, you know,
committing to accuracy.
Sure. But then the other problem is that, like, the DLC characters have been really bad. Like, they keep adding...
Yeah. They have it,
They keep adding more Gokus. They haven't added any Dragon Ball Super characters except for Jiren, and, like, who the fuck cares about Jiren? Like, there's, like, they haven't really been doing anything great, and it's just a huge bummer that that game is slowing down so much, because, you know, like... But at the same time, if they do end up doing, like, a Season 3 or something, and they're just like, hey, here's a fucking... like Master Roshi or Bulma or something, then all will be forgiven, basically. Like,
they, like, introduced Videl so late. I personally thought, like, around that time when it was starting to slow down, I'm like, well, okay, all right. After, like, the wave of, like, 5 other Gokus and 2 other versions of Vegeta, you decide to like, oh yeah, we're gonna introduce this character that actually has been a fan favorite to this whole franchise.
I mean, it probably
like it's like wow.
It probably didn't help that she was paired with Jiren and like.
Oh yeah, definitely not.
And that they were,
definitely not.
And that they were.
No one wanted Jiren.
And that they were pushing Jiren harder. Like fucking like nobody likes like. Okay, you know I take that back. The entire country of Mexico likes Jiren, but
okay. Yeah, actually, we're gonna apologize right now.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Look, that all those videos of like people in Mexico like gathering in like town squares to watch the fucking Goku and Jiren fight, that's still the best shit. That's still really good. But still, like it's still just like compared to a lot of the characters that people want that are just getting like passed over. It's really weird.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's my own criticism. You know, despite loving this franchise, that is my own criticism of like of the franchise in general. Like there's this weird thing where they're just not caring about and again, like the teams between the games and the show and the manga, you know, it's all different.
Yeah.
But for some reason, across the whole franchise, there's this huge like problem where they're just not writing or caring about the characters that people actually care about, which you know. Mm-hmm. A lot of it being most of the women.
Of
but
course.
Anyway, I would love to see Bulma with a gun.
Yeah.
Throw her in the game with a gun.
Like,
that is fine. She will be fine. It's okay. Like, I don't... Like, be a little more creative. Like, I don't understand.
Yeah,
you know, it's just...
I would love to see Bulma as, like, a trap character. Like, she could set up a bunch of, like, capsules and shit around the stage.
Right.
That would be really fun.
It's a shame she's not. Yeah, it's a shame she's not even at least like with Vegeta. You know, like at least like has some sort of presence with Vegeta's moves. You know, like it's the huge lack of Bulma is frustrating.
Yeah, and just I think the thing that encapsulates it the most, like the thing that I could point to, is that a bunch of people said, you know, I would be okay if they put in Goku from Dragon Ball. Like if they put in Kid Goku,
right?
That would be really cool. And then and then the monkey's paw curled, and they put in Kid Goku from GT.
Yep.
Let's see here. So I guess some interesting news here. That's the good news. Disaster Report is a well-loved franchise that didn't really come out of Japan very much. There was the one Disaster Report that came out on PS2 a long time ago. But finally, Disaster Report 4 is coming out in at the very least in North America. I don't know if it's been announced for PAL regions. But yeah, in early next year, we're going to get Disaster Report 4. NIS America is going to bring the Switch, PS4, and PC versions over here. It's, you know, going to be the same old trying to keep yourself alive while a bunch of crazy, overwhelming disasters happen in Japan. This one was made by Granzella. It was originally being made by IREM, but it actually got canceled back in 2011 because of the earthquake and tsunami. But then it got revived 4 years later, and those games are just like they're weird, they're fun, they're sometimes serious. They're definitely going to have a. They're going to have a fan base over here, I feel like. So it is good that it's coming out over here, and I'm happy for fans of Disaster Report. But yeah, that's early next year.
Yeah, from my familiarity of the first game, like I have not played it, but I've seen like cutscenes of it. It's just, and like I think they Americanized it, right? Is that what happened with it? Because it seemed like everyone had like
it was a PS2 game, so
okay,
yeah, they probably put more effort into like, I guess, whitewashing it a little bit here and there.
Yeah.
But now
it seems like
nowadays they probably won't do that.
Okay. Yeah, it definitely seems like an interesting premise. Like I would want to play this. It's both. It seems like something that's both like stressful and horrifying, but also really funny and all. Like it seems like a very hammy game. Like that would I think if they made the effort to put it out today, it would probably find like a base, definitely, and I would be interested in it.
Sure. All right. Let's see here. Niall, real quick, do you want to talk about any of the other wild shit that you've been getting up to lately?
I guess, yeah, okay, I'll talk real quick. They added the first 2 new characters to Dead or Alive 6. So they added Mai and Kula from King of Fighters to the game, which, like, I don't care that much about either one of those. I mainly was like, okay, we got 2 new characters, maybe there's going to be people playing the game again. And there's been, like, I haven't been having to sit there and wait for, like, 25 minutes to get a match now, which is a pretty nice change. Yeah, I went back to that game over E3 because during E3, the Taipei Major was on, and I basically just, like, watched a bunch of Dead or Alive for 2 days when the press conferences weren't on, and I was like, oh yeah, this game, like, whips and nobody plays it, but I'm gonna try and play it. So I've been playing it, and I've sort of, like, when I started playing it, I was, like, doing well as, like, somebody who had never played the game before and was, like, still learning it. And I got up to, like, D level, D rank, and then I, like, hit the first wall, and then I broke through it and got to, like, C minus, and then I stopped playing the game because nobody was playing it. And since I've gone back now, I'm, like, so close to getting to the, like, aspirational goal that I set myself when the game came out of getting to B rank. I'm C plus now. I'm 1 win away from B minus. And I'm like, I can see the finish line of what I had hoped to get to. And now the player base is starting to go back down again. And I'm like, no, you have to stick around until I can, like, get to where I was trying to get to. But yeah, I still really, really like that game. And I've been having a lot of fun just, like, actually getting to play it against people and not having to just, like, sit there for ages and ages in the hopes of getting a match. The other thing I've been doing real quick, and I have to make this quick because otherwise Rose will, like, I don't want to set Rose off on it.
It's fine. Don't worry. I told you I get it.
I started Final Fantasy 14 after, I think, about 2 years.
7 years.
Of, like, downloading the game and then, like, trying to log in and being unable to log in, and it just, like, never seeming to work. I finally went, like, I'm just gonna install it on my PS4, and I got it to work, and that game doesn't start super well.
No.
Like, I didn't want to spend the money, though, on the, like, level skip and stuff.
Yeah.
And, like, the 30 days. And I was like, I want to try this and see what it is. And I'm just, like, running around.
It puts its worst foot forward.
It does. It really does.
Which, like, here's my defense that I'm going to pull out for you. They did make that game in, like, 1 year out of the fucking ashes of that nightmare escape.
Yeah.
But, yeah, no, they should have, like, fixed it over time instead of, like, just leaving it like that.
Yeah, from what I've heard, like, it's very much, like, a thing of, like, you're supposed to, like, the thing that people who actually play it say now is, like, if you want to get into it, just buy the level skip and go straight to level 30.
It sucks.
But, like, that's money to spend on something that, like, I wasn't sure if I was even gonna stick with. I think I'm at, like, level 14, 15 right now. I just got up to the part where I've been told I need to go travel to, like, the lavender beds or whatever, and then I was like, I was like, wait, you're trying to tell me that, like, you can buy, like, houses and stuff in this game, but there's a finite number of them, and, like, you have you have your in-game real estate market, and I haven't turned it on since seeing that, and I'm like, oh, I don't know if I can go back to this. Maybe I will once, like, I get through Judgment, but
yeah,
that game,
it's the type of thing where it has to hit you in the right time.
Yeah.
At the right spot, like, you know.
Yeah.
But
I mean, for a couple days, it was, like, you know, a thing to have on in the background, and it may very well prove to be a good thing to have on in the background sometimes, of just, like,
yeah,
you know, like, I can control the rocks. I'm like Delgo. Because I'm playing a conjurer. It's it's an MMO as MMO that, like...
Yeah.
I couldn't tell you a single thing that's happened in the story. I don't even really think there is a story at this point.
You grew clothes at the beginning, and you shot a big beam out at a crystal.
Sure.
That's all I remember from the early parts.
I don't even have the clothes from that. Like,
Nope.
Yeah, so I don't know.
Not yet. You have to earn those clothes.
Yeah, I'm just running
God.
around in like whatever rags I have. Like
You're just naked?
no, like
Wow. They don't
No,
even give you
they're
clothes.
clothes. Don't worry.
Okay.
they're
okay.
clothes, but
I was
like
damn, that's cruel.
they're not coordinated. What I have right now, it's
Oh, okay.
like
You should be glad that you are at least playing in a magic class, because the warrior classes just straight up get like, do you know what a subligar is?
no.
It's basically the equivalent of battle panties.
Oh,
and
right.
like
Yeah.
they get those, and they like not even just for women, like everyone gets them. Like
a loincloth kind of thing.
it's like it's bad.
Yeah.
It's bad.
It's like a codpiece?
Kind of.
Or-
It's like
but
straight. It looks
not-
just straight up like metal underwear,
Metal
like dead
okay.
ass. It looks like that.
All right.
And then like on top of that, they're wearing like a fucking like Witcher 3 leveling gear also, which is like, oh man.
Yeah. Yeah, I will say I'm kind of like surprised by, like, I expected it to be this, or the impression I've gotten from listening to you and Spencer and like just other people I know who play it, like I got the impression that it was like a very social experience, very social game, but like nobody seems to ever say anything in the like public areas. It's just like maybe like every 20 minutes someone will whisper you to be like, you want to be in the free company, message me. And just,
Yep.
like,
The reason is because they're all in the fucking endgame areas, right?
Probably,
like that's where
yeah.
everyone is, which is like a failing of MMOs that like I feel like some games have gotten smarter about, because, well, first of all, you don't want a general chat that like covers every area.
Yeah.
You never want that,
Sure.
because it's a nightmare. But there are a lot more elegant ways, like they had, I think its reputation has been ruined because they did a terrible job with it, implementing it. But for a couple days when it came out, there was this novice network chat where it was like players who were like did a lot in the game could register to be mentors.
oh, they still have
like
that,
me.
I think.
Yeah, they still
Yeah.
have it, but no, I don't think anyone uses the chat because it like became notoriously like really bad, because like it would just be like people being like, I'm going to make all these jokes now in this chat and fill it up and everyone has to see it. Ha ha ha. And it was like, oh.
It seems fine. It's an MMO.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's a game that like really shows its hand later, which is a tough proposition
Yes.
when it's, you know, hours and hours and hours.
Okay. All right. I think we should move on to questions. If you want to send in questions, go to videogamechoochoo.tumblr.com/ask. You'll sound like these folks. Anonymous asks, if you could pick any other series to get the Necrodancer treatment a la Cadence of Hyrule, what would you pick and why? So I think specifically it is a crossover with Necrodancer.
Ooh.
Sonic. Live and learn. Hanging on the edge of tomorrow.
So, Sonic has good music, but I will say, don't you think that, like, doing methodical shit like that would be kind of against the spirit of Sonic?
Maybe you're right. Maybe. I don't know, but then Sonic CD is pretty methodical.
Sonic CD's a little weird.
Sonic CD's dope as shit. I was trying to think of another game that, because like I was like, Final Fantasy? No, Final Fantasy has theater rhythm already.
Yeah.
Like,
I can see the Mario games like being interesting if it with that mechanic, like either the classic side-scrolling games or even the RPG series. Like I think either or, like that'd be interesting to see the gameplay in that capacity where it has to simultaneously still match up to what's going on in screen, but also music being a huge important mechanic that you have to pay attention to, but I think it might work better for the RPG series, and that might be cool. It might be, yeah.
that might work better with, what was that called? Fucking, was it Rhythm Thief? That was like a
Yes.
platformer or something,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Now that you bring it up, yeah, something like that.
That would be good.
Yeah, like a
Yeah,
Rhythm Thief
yeah.
or a Bit Trip Runner kind of thing I could see from Mario.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. There you go. Yeah. Yeah. There's a lot of those. So it's essentially that.
I know it already has a rhythm game, so I mean, I know you mentioned Theater Rhythm for Final Fantasy, but I could see Persona, like specifically
Yeah.
Persona 5.
Oh,
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say as
Yeah.
well.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I was also just gonna say Pokemon. I couldn't think of a gameplay reason, but like,
Pokemon.
I would just want to see the like. I would want cool like dance kind of remixes of Pokemon songs. Anything else? Okay.
Yeah, Pokemon would be great because I think with how focused the series is, like, I would, like I talked about as well, like, it would be amazing exploring the people who don't do battles, like the other occupations in Pokemon. Like, that'd be amazing in some aspect. Like the people who do contests and things like that. That'd be cool. Like I can see that being, like, specifically you're playing someone who is not like a traditional trainer. They probably do other things when it comes to Pokemon for that to work out and to, like, justify the premise.
Let's see here. Anonymous asks, and you know what? I'm not going to answer this one. Here's the challenge. I'm not going to answer this one. If you had to make a video game adaptation of YouTube Poop with no legal restrictions and an unlimited budget, what would you make, who would star, and what kind of game would it be?
Jesus.
Oh my god.
It would just be one of those Fresh Prince of Bel-Air ones for me, because I think that'd be funny. It's like, why is he not let us get the pool house? How could he be so cruel house? And stuff, like, just that, but it's like, what's that game? Facade?
Facade,
It's like
yes.
that.
I
Yeah.
think you need to leave.
It's like that, but with Carlton.
I was going to say it should be an RPG, because then the quest could be, and you find him, and you find Jeffrey, and you find Jeffrey, and you find Jeffrey.
See, I know it's not like I consider it a YouTube poop, even though it's not labeled as it. But I would make one with, like, one of those, like, or with the whole, like, custom grow, like, coughs and various noises things. Like, I'm sure you could make something out of that.
Yeah.
A rhythm game, yeah.
Yeah.
Necrodancer X
Yeah, there you
Custom
go.
Grow for 20.
Honestly, you can do so much, like with all the YouTube poop spiffing off of, like, cartoons coming from the 80s and 90s. Like, those alone, like, as people appropriate those, like clips all the time in very intelligent and honestly genius ways, where I think it's not hard to make something like, I'm not gonna say visual novel, but something akin to, like,
Please.
and, like, those like older point and click adventure games where I think where I think, like, yeah, like these sort of things can be used as, like, prompts to, like, proceed the game. I don't know. I think something like that can work very easily. You're just using clips and, like, movie clips.
So,
like, to
who would be the
put
main
together-
character? Who's the main character?
Oh my god. Oh, that's a tough one.
I mean, I don't know. There's so
much,
There's, like,
though.
arguments about, like, who the main character of YouTube Poop is. I kind of...
Shut
Yeah,
the
yeah.
fuck up.
I kind of feel...
There's a pantheon.
I kind of feel like King Harkinian is. It's like either King Harkinian
Oh,
or, like,
yeah.
maybe Robotnik. Like, I don't know.
Yeah. Oh, god.
Listen to what you're saying.
I am listening, and
Fucking
it's
animal.
making me laugh.
He, like, refused to answer the question, yet here he is, like, elaborating on the lore.
I can't stop myself. you can't take the YouTube poop out of me. It's impossible.
God.
All right.
There is definitely a pantheon.
There is. Oh my god. Okay. Let's see here. Anonymous asks, do any of you go thrifting or flea marketing? If so, what are some of your best finds for video games? I've tried. My problem is that everywhere that I live in Florida is near, like, big cities, so it is impossible to get, like, stuff that is, like, well priced. Like, there's flea markets and stuff near me, but I live in Orlando, near a college, so any game people like me are going to be doing that already, and they're going to buy everything before I have a chance to go over there. Like, there's a game store near me that has, like, a really great selection. They have a bunch of rare games, but they're all, like, slightly overpriced because they can get away with it, because the nerds will pay for it, because, you know, they'll come in after they get their financial aid and be like, you know what? I can afford to buy a box copy of Earthbound for $1,000. You know, like...
Mm-hmm.
My debt isn't real.
I've never... I mean, yeah, there's obviously, like non-chain affiliated and, like, really cool, like, video game shops around me that do sell, like, really rare and novelty stuff, but they're not secondhand stores. They're not thrift stores. These are, like, you know, like, actually licensed people who, like, sell these things that are like, oh, yeah, like, we sell, like, even Japanese games, like, you know, they're not... like, stuff like that. But in terms of, like, actual, like, secondhand thrift stores, the ones I've been to do not have games, you know, like, or at least even flea... Like, I have not encountered, like, a flea market or been to one where people are selling, like, interesting games or, like, games at all, really. It's really just the typical stuff like, oh, used furniture, or like, oh, yeah, cool clothes that, you know, might, you know, have this musty smell to it. But
throw them in the washer, yeah.
But, yeah, yeah. Put some bleach in. But I've not seen games actually even sold at all in secondhand shops.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm kind of the same. Like, over here, it's mostly just, like, you don't even find games in secondhand shops. You only find secondhand games in GameStop, and, you know, that's it. Unfortunately.
Actual game stores. Yeah.
This isn't like a crazy find or anything, because this was like probably like 2009, 10. I like went to one of the thrift stores around here, and I bought this box that said it was questionably usable PlayStation 2 games. I think they inferred that they were scratched up, they couldn't, you know, wouldn't work or something like that. They all worked, and this had stuff like Shin Megami Tensei 3 Nocturne, Beautiful Joe, Okami, like a whole bunch of like really good games, and I got like, I would say like 10 games total from this, and it cost like $11.
Oh, wow.
And I was like, all right, because they thought it was just broken, which is kind of crazy if they thought they were all broken and they were selling them from $11 in hindsight.
Yeah.
But, you know, they all worked fine.
Yeah.
And I never had any issues with them. So, fucking hey.
Yeah, don't look that gift horse in the mouth. Just be like, all right, whatever.
No, yeah.
Sure.
All right.
Let's see here. Anonymous asks, are you ashamed of any of your game purchases? Toss aside your humility in the name of content creation and confess your sins.
No, if I ever bought a fucked up dating sim for some reason, I have it. I will tell someone this, like, yes, I have played this and embraced it, and I paid money for this thing. Let me go down the list. Give me a moment. Someone else can answer.
Okay, I
this.
think me and Niall have one that we can share together.
Do we? Oh, yes, sure. Yeah,
Red Dead Redemption.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, definitely. I was also going to say, I'm looking at a copy of Left Alive. I have The Quiet Man on my PC.
Fucking Quiet Man. Oh, Niall loves The Quiet Man.
I have played The Quiet Man 2 times more than anyone should play it, which is 2 times.
Niall is a higher up in the Quiet Mandom.
Yeah.
Are you the only one in the quiet?
I wouldn't even say I'm in that. I would say I'm more like sending them threatening letters in the mail, kind of.
God. I haven't done that recently. Like, I'm not like ashamed of anything. Like, I've been like maybe disappointed in like a game that I've picked up. But I actually haven't really bought any like bad games recently, mostly because like I'm being like way more like careful.
Yeah.
I will say I for some reason, this is slightly off topic, but I kind of remembered this this time that a friend of mine bought me a game for my birthday. I might have told this story before. I apologize. A friend of mine bought me a game for my birthday because, like, I like toku, like, well, not really toku, but more like kaiju stuff. And she was like, oh, John probably likes Ultraman. I'll pick up Ultraman for the Super Nintendo. And that game is a complete piece of shit. Like, that game is really, really bad, but it's the fun kind of bad. So I just remember her showing up and giving it to me, and like I was visibly excited, but also me being like, oh my god, you got like a really, like, I had to like basically explain the concept of kusoge to my friend, being like, this is like a really shitty game, but I'm like legitimately happy you bought this for me because it's like, it's cool that it's shitty. Like, I was like it was like, and she was like, I don't know if like I should be offended or like happy that, and I'm like, no, you got me the right thing. Like, you did a good job. This is a really cool gift. Like, it was like a really weird like way to like describe like we like I'm gonna play this game. I'm not gonna like it, but I also really love that I have this game. Like, I still have it. Like, I'm really glad that I have it. And it's just like like having to explain like the concept of like a legendary shit game to somebody that is not in the know is like such a weird thing.
Yeah, there was I didn't buy them for myself, but there was a while where during any Steam sale I would just like send Michael and Ryan like catgirl dating sims or whatever. I think they started like at some point one of the two of them bought me just like a straight up hentai game in retaliation though, so whatever.
Yeah, just to add on to that, like, I agree, like, there are, like, games I, like, especially as a kid, now I try to make better consumer, like, choices, right? There are definitely a lot of games in my life that, like, oh yeah, it was disappointing or it wasn't great, but they're not really worthy of talking about, like, I don't even remember them. But yeah, like, looking down my list of fucked up dating sims, okay, I have one where you, like, there's, like, a bug lady, maybe we'll talk about it another time, who knows. Yeah, I finished it, it's a lot. But okay, now that we were talking about this more, I think have a video game that I definitely regret having, which is because it's a mess in a lot of ways, in both more ways, which is Yandere Simulator.
Oh no!
Which is
I get it. Don't worry.
It's I don't need to really go further into that. It's just like, okay, I will try. I was like, okay, this is. I do remember like when I first got it, like at least some early version of it. I don't even remember if this was something I paid for. I don't remember if this was just something that anyone could have gotten anyway. So like, especially in its early build or whatever. But I do remember like being actually like into like wanting it or something. Like I was like out of curiosity. But yeah, now further into it, it's not something to be really proud of. Really, definitely not. But yeah.
I feel like I saw a screen cap from Yandere Simulator going around recently that was like, we're adding the ability to save the game or something, like after all these years. I feel like that was going around Twitter recently.
Well, he has to work by himself. Yeah. You have to understand, because he needs all that money for himself. For the game.
Of course.
For the game.
Development is expensive.
Yeah, of course.
Voice actors, they need to be free though, is the thing also. You have to volunteer. And I have two things, I guess. One I'm not really ashamed of, because my stance. I have 5 copies of Final Fantasy 13.
Sure, okay.
The other one, I don't even like this game. I have 2 copies of Akiba's Trip.
Alright.
2?
2. One's for the Vita, and I think the other one's for the PS4.
Great.
They're both physical. It's great.
Ooh.
How are they on your person?
I don't know.
Things happen,
They're here.
Mistakes are made.
Yeah.
You block it out of your memory.
Pretty much. Like, I honestly don't remember why I have them. They're both like the Vita one's wrapped. That's to the degree that we're at. Like
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't.
Let's see here. Harlequin Wheels asks, what's the most powerful boss you felt like you fought in a game? To elaborate, this doesn't mean most difficult gameplay-wise. A lot of JRPGs like to have final bosses that are or have become god/demon/ etc. But are there any that make you really feel like the fate of the world is at stake, and the only thing left defending it is your ragtag party or just yourself? So I would say probably to bring the game up again, probably the final boss of Persona 5. Like, that one definitely felt like an end of the world scenario. I guess another one where, like, it was less the fate of the world and more like overcoming the boss, but I thought that like the Armstrong fight in Revengeance is up there because he just feels he feels so powerful and so overwhelming, and like you like when you first start fighting him, like he's just standing there and you're just like slashing at him, punching him like crazy, and it takes like everything in your power to finally take him down, and that it feels super satisfying. So yeah, I would say Armstrong's probably on that list too.
Let me tell you about the Wonderful 101.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
Because the Wonderful 101 is like the best and like quickest and most desperate power escalation out of any character action game I have ever seen, where it's like just in that final arc you go from like controlling 100 people to controlling one mech to controlling 100 mechs to controlling one giant mech to controlling 100 giant mechs, and then like 3 just giant ones with like little like radials, like in a shoot 'em up game where you have like your 2 little guns around you, and like just like the very ending is just you like like it says like mash A to defend the earth or something like that.
Yeah, I think that is literally an answer to Wheels' question here. Like, yes, that is the fate of the world.
It's so good. It's like the best.
Like a lot of character action games are this, because like now I'm thinking like Bayonetta
1.
Yes, like you're just basically fighting God at the end of that game,
and like pushing them through all the planets and stuff. That's great.
Asura's Wrath is kind of just that as a video game.
Yes.
Yeah,
I know it's not like on a worldwide scale, but I've always appreciated just like in Yakuza the way they build up whoever the last boss is to be like. They just make it seem like it's such a climactic, huge event, even though it's really just mobsters fighting. Like, I thought especially with, what was his name, Ryuji in Kiwami 2, I thought they, like, built that up to his clash with Kiryu, like, to be just... Like, it felt like the world was at stake, even though it wasn't. Like, I really like how they direct that stuff.
Remember fighting Kuze?
Yeah.
Sorry, I was thinking about Kuze. It's just like,
I remember Kuze. Yeah. I think I remember the first time, and this game I hold dear to my heart, Chrono Trigger. The very first time I played this game and and I wasn't aware of like, all the shitty things you can accidentally fuck up and like all the different ways like this game actually can be played. Yeah, I think literally my first playthrough of Chrono Trigger, Chrono just fucking died, right? And he just never came back, right? The way, and honestly, Lavos compared to everything else in that game wasn't that big of a deal, but I think the weird emotional weight you get from it the first time, if this is your first playthrough of the game and you're really going in blind, it's really striking on like honestly a psychological level. It's, depending on who's your final party or depending on some of the decisions you made that got you there. When you get down to giant bug boy, basically bringing about the end of the world, time and space. But yeah,
that's something I really appreciate about that game is how you can do it at any time and stuff. Like that's really just. Yeah, if it has a good vibe to it where it's like, yeah, no, we're doing it now. We're fucking doing it now.
Yeah, it's the idea of like, I can do this, like doing it multiple times and getting things right in the way you feel it to be right. And I guess that's like also the stake at hand of like, oh shoot, what if I fuck up again, right? When again, like in like Lavos really is not like there really is no real strategy to, but like something about it is like it's very it's psychologically very like on pressures you. And in a good way. Like, love that game.
All right, last question here. If you want to send in a question, it's videogamechoochoo.tumblr.com/ask. Century Punk asks, who's your favorite video game chef? Shoutouts to Queen Quen from Final Fantasy IX. I hope I didn't mispronounce that. Someone's going to kill me.
That's right.
Okay. Let's see here. Favorite chef. Favorite chef. Who's a good chef?
Was it Kurosawa? What's the one from fucking Kirby?
Chef Kawasaki.
Kawasaki, yeah. He's good.
I'll cast out an anti-vote, a negative vote.
Are you going to say Teru Teru? Is that
for Teru Teru, yes. Yeah. Yes, this is the negative one, yeah. chef. There's
Like Cooking Mama's an icon.
Cooking
So-
Mama has transcended chef status.
Okay, you're right. She's like a god, probably,
Yeah.
right? Or so. Yeah. Okay.
I mean, she could be an answer to Wheels' question.
You're right. She's also a babysitter. She's a babysitter. She's a gardener. She's a lot of things. You're right. I can't like just box her in. I'm sorry, Cooking
Yeah,
Mama. I have to say that in case she might hear.
Yeah, I mean, she's an answer to Wheels' question, because if you don't stack up to Mama's standards, she's gonna take you down. She might end the world. Like, yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if like you fuck up a flambe and she's just like, all right, fine, and she just like fires a beam into the fucking Earth's core.
Right. Like fire shoots out of her eyeballs. That's not supposed to happen to a normal person.
She has unfathomable powers that we're just not prepared to deal with.
Because we contained in the vessel that is Cooking Mama.
For sure.
I mentioned Monster Hunter, and I love the buff cat.
Yeah.
They literally call him the Meowscular Chef. I don't think he has a real name, but he scares me. But I also think he's cute. Like it's a very buff cat that makes your meals at basically like the canteen in Monster Hunter World. And he has a scar on his eye. Like I don't know what his deal is. I don't know much about his story.
He had to retire.
Yeah, don't fuck around with this cat. Like that will cook you your meat and stuff. So quite like it.
I feel so fucking stupid for not just saying Ignis immediately. He's my favorite.
Yeah.
Ignis is,
Yeah, there he is. Yeah,
He made the custom cup. He did that.
he did.
Holy shit,
He did
sure
that.
That.
I'm gonna say what's the Guy Furry from Neko Atsume?
Oh yeah.
Oh. Yes. Oh.
Jam Karada Berry from Guilty Gear. She's cute. She's a chef.
Fuck. Oh yeah. I was thinking
Oh,
there was some
yeah.
fighting
Isn't-
lady who was a chef.
Isn't one of the laws from Tekken also a chef?
Martial Law is a chef, and
Yeah.
and then there's El Fuerte from Street Fighter. He's a chef. So yeah, so there are some good chefs in video games.
A lot of cooks.
Not too many though. You got just the
Not
right
too
amount.
many.
Not too many.
Just the right amount.
Just right.
All right, that should do it for this week's show. Real quick, I will say I will not be here next week because that is CEO. Niall, you're going to be in charge of this podcast, right?
Yeah, I should be. That should be fine. I'm sure. Maybe. Hopefully.
All right. Well, either way, we'll figure
We'll
something
deal with
out.
it, yeah.
Someone will handle it. If not, then y'all just won't have a podcast. It's fine. You can live with it. But yeah, I will be at CEO. Zach will be at CEO. Scott will be at CEO, and maybe a surprise guest from Chooch's Past may also appear.
I
Who
think
knows?
you've already said before who it is.
Oh, did I?
Yeah, you did.
Oh, all right, then yeah, no, Michael's going to be there. Michael will be there. Well, Michael's going to be at the panel. Yeah, we're having our panel. We know exactly when it will be. If you are coming and you don't know yet, it is going to be Saturday, June 29th at 12 p.m. in panel room 2. So if you are coming to CEO, come watch our panel. It's going to be an hour. It's going to be a lot of fun shit. We're going to announce stuff. Like, we have announcements, which is, like, really exciting. So please come on down and check it out if you're in the Daytona Beach area. It's going to be a fun time. Let me think here. Our Twitter account is at VGChuchu. Our Tumblr is videogamechuchu.tumblr.com. Follow those to keep up with everything. Come join the GameZone.zone, which is our Discord server. Once you join there, you get to hang out with all of us, and I think that's a reward in of itself. Patreon.com/VGCC. You can go there, and you can give us money. If you want to give us $1, that'll give you Chuchigacha Unlimited Train Works. That is our anime podcast. And for $3, you get The Route, which is our tabletop podcast. It's all cyberpunk and all that. So if you are, if you want some cyberpunk that isn't made by CD Projekt Red on your feed, there you go. You got the Route right there. And finally, I would like to thank Melt Channel /Magic Circuit for our theme song Crush off of their album Magic is Real. If you want to listen to more Melt Channel, it's meltchannel.bandcamp.com. And their Spotify is Magic Circuit. So just look that up on Spotify. That should be it. thank you so much for listening, and we'll be back probably next week with another episode of the Video Game Choo Choo Podcast.